Alrighty. Okay, so I just want to do a quick little recap. Today, actually this session right now is the first time I've put a prong on him, and he's responding to really well. I double led him with a slip lead also just in case if it overwhelmed him at all, he didn't panic and do like any giggle. So I wanted everything to be good experiences. Been working a lot on creating that muscle memory of how to walk by my side, making it his idea, making it a good thing, making him rewarded for being right by my side. And we've been doing that mostly in this room and then kind of in front of the kennel, back and forth between the kennel, things like that, where not too much exciting things happening around us for him to want to move away from me. But I want to use the prong collar in a way that creates clear communication. So what I'm going to do is pair it with the word no. So if he starts to forge ahead a little bit or wander off to either side, I will say the word no and then apply leash pressure in the direction that I need him to fix. So usually typically back by my side. And then as soon as he fixes his positioning, I'll say the word good. So he's getting really, really good with his markers. Again, we have the clicker, the word good, which is more of a duration marker. So if he's in behavior, I'll say good, pay him over and over and over again, varying in between each rep to build that duration. And then okay is going to be his terminal marker. And then I'm using the word no, and sometimes I'll do sometimes it's just whatever falls out first, but they mean the same thing and I'm pairing them the exact same way. If he, right now I'm not using it too much to correct him not going to behavior. I'm still like doing a lot of luring and motivational stuff to get him into behavior, just to make sure he fully understands what it is. But I am starting to use it to interrupt things like him breaking behavior. I'm trying to be very fair with that. Again, low distractions, and then we'll work our way up. But I want to start letting him know that if he's in behavior and I'm using the word good, that means that he has to stay in behavior. So as soon as he goes, if I tell him to sit or we're getting ready to walk through a doorway and he pops up, I use the word no. And if he doesn't respond to just the word no, then I will apply that pressure, I will apply that consequence, the physical consequence. So I want to make sure that he knows what the word no means, but also that he understands what his rewarding markers are. And we're starting to dabble in commands here and there. So I'm going to run through them really quickly just so that he can demonstrate them for you. If you're going to do these things at home, just be mindful of your distraction level. We want it to still be low enough distractions to where he can most of the time be successful, so that way we're not putting him in situations where we know that he's not going to follow through the behavior, and then he either learns that he doesn't have to do these things, or he's being unfairly corrected in a situation he doesn't know how to do these behaviors in that context. So I hope that makes sense. That just, we're not quite at the generalizing phase yet. I want him to understand his behaviors and his low distractions, and then I'll start proofing them and generalizing them in different situations, different contexts, to make sure that he knows this means the same thing no matter where I go. But we have to get there first. So, are you taking a nap? Fauci. Ooh-wee. So we have, hey, good, sit, good. And I'm still rewarding everything. I want it to be at a frequency that's not predictable now. That's how I'm going to introduce my variable rewards, meaning I'm eventually not going to reward everything. I'm only going to reward really good things, but I have to kind of phase them into that. So as I'm building duration, it's going to be good, 2 seconds good, 8 seconds good, 3 seconds, and so no, sit, good. And so for something like that, I'm not going to reward him. I'm just going to say the word good, and then okay, bring him out of it, sit, and then start over. Good. And I'm missing the mark a couple of times here just because I'm trying to also focus on the camera. So I'm adding in movement. Good. Very nice. If it goes into a down, I'm not too worried about it. Good. Adding in movement. If he gets up, I'll just say the word N-O. Good. Okay. Very nice. And then
What's happening?
Down. Good. So he's super playful with his down, so I'm mostly just kind of leaning down to gesture for him to go into that position, and then once he's in his down, I'm saying the word down. I play around with asking him to go into a down on command only, and he doesn't understand it yet, so we're not there. So it's not a big deal. The down is, for some dogs, a little bit trickier to figure out. They always throw their paws at you and things like that. Good. But once he's down there because he's lazy. Okay, very good. And then we have our the special guest Asher in the background. Hold on, I didn't do it yet. Come on. Fauci, place. Good. When his booty hits the place, then he is, I reward that. Good boy. When he looks back up at me, good. I'll reward that attention, because a truck just started up behind us, so I don't want him focusing on those things, but I want him focusing on me. So that way, when we get into a little bit more tempting situations, he knows that checking in with me is good. It gets him paid. Good. Okay. Very nice. And then for our leash walking, I'm still doing lots and lots of payments. Again, rewarding every couple of steps, but trying to vary how much. Okay? Or how often I reward it. Good. Let's go. Good. Good. You're losing them. Okay, so still follow me. Good. They don't like this one. What's up? Good. A little bit of direction changes. No. So this dog over here moves, so I'm going to help him get back into his behavior. Good. Good. You still following me? Yes. Good. We're going to go past this dog again since that is good. I'm going to let him get on the hand for a couple steps since he wants to go pay attention to that dog. I don't think he even knew that the dog was in here until just now. No. Good. Good job. Okay. Very good. So I said the word no, and he disengaged from the dog. So I paid that and made it a big deal, and then I ended behavior so he can kind of process what just happened. Hello. We're working on his recall, of course. I'm trying to make it a point to always have him on some sort of a lead when I call him to me. And when he runs to me, as long as he's paying attention to me, I'm good paying, good paying, good paying, good paying, until he looks away, and then I'll say okay to release him from the recall. I want him to know that when he comes to me and he's paying attention to me, that he's getting all of that payment, all those rewards. So instead of a dog where you say come and they kind of start running to you and then check out and go do something else, I want him to know that running to me and sticking with me gets him good things. Another thing I'm doing is having him sit and wait at doorways. So wait, stay, I kind of use both. Typically when I'm just doing a really quick wait, stay, I just say the word wait, just to know that it's not going to be, well, I can't talk, that he's not going to be there for very long. So I will walk up to a door. How I started that was I let him show me behavior. So I just stood at the door with my hand on the handle, and as soon as he put his butt down, I opened the door. So now it's kind of progressed from that nice auto sit to when I open the door, if he pops up out of it, I will say the word no and shut the door. I want him learning that the sit means he has to wait until I invite him through. So that's kind of where we are right now. I want him being a little bit more polite, checking in with me, and not being impulsive and running through the door to see what's on the other side. And we're also gradually going into situations around people. And I know you said that he's okay typically when outside because he has a little bit of an escape route. I'm not gonna work him too much around strangers inside just yet. I don't think he's ready for that. I think that's a little over threshold. I wanna get the other stuff down first, and then we'll start really pushing those buttons. I wanna have a little bit better of a relationship with him. I wanna make sure he really understands his markers and his cues and all that stuff before I put him into those situations. So that's your weekly recap on the Fauci. He's doing really, really well. He's playing really well with everybody. Still a little bit shy going to the yard. And for some reason, there's a couple dogs that really don't like him. And I don't know if it's because he's a little bit older and he's developing, or if it's just his kind of panicky energy when he first comes into the yard. So other than those couple of dogs, everyone's really getting along well with him. He's respecting everyone's boundaries. He's definitely testing new dogs to see how far he can go with them, but as soon as they say back off, he's backing off, which is really nice. Hey, good, good boy. So that's your second week-ish, almost a week and a half video. Sit, good boy. Turn this off.